Shalom. First off, Shalom. First off, I want to start up by saying all praises, honor, and glory is due unto Yahweh by Hashem Shai by Hashem Kakadash. That's all praises who the world calls God, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh by Hashem, meaning in the name Yahweh Shai. In the name of the only begotten Son. I also want to say double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and mercy to the hopeful elect preachers word in truth and sincerity. And the brother talks about the Great Millstone, Arizona camp. And we gonna get right up into it, man. I'm gonna play this.
We'll start with, of course, that deadly winter storm and that update from officials in hard-hit Erie County. They just announced 12 more people have been killed because of this storm. That means that 25 people in all in just this county alone are dead after this, 60 deaths nationwide. And when you pull back, when you look at not just the weather situation, but the travel situation, hundreds of flights have already been canceled today, meaning more headaches for travelers this morning yet again. I want to bring in NBC's Jesse Kirsch, who is live from New York. NBC's Shaquille Brewster is at Chicago's O'Hare International Airport for us. Jesse, let me start with you and the latest update from folks in Buffalo. It sounds like they're saying, hey, people still need to be staying off the roads. They are still impassable, and it is still incredibly hard for emergency workers to get where they need to get.
Yeah, Hallie, there have been instances as well where we've heard of emergency workers themselves getting stuck and needing help getting their vehicles out of the snow. That is the dire situation we're looking at in Buffalo. And remember, this is a community that is used to bad weather in the winter, and they are still talking about this storm as the most devastating in the history of that city. That is from New York's governor, who is, of course, familiar with that part of the state of New York, in the western part of the state. We are learning that the death toll continues to climb. Just this morning alone, officials in Erie County, New York, where Buffalo is, reporting an additional 12 deaths. So at this point, we are looking at least 50 people across the country who have been reportedly killed as a result of the winter weather we've been experiencing for days. Buffalo appears to have suffered the worst brunt of this, or one of the worst brunts of this, over the weekend. We're talking about close to 4 feet of snow reported. The governor says there were wind gusts approaching 80 miles per hour, just below 80 miles per hour. Also, the governor says state police have been involved with at least 500, more than 500 rescues. In one instance, state police apparently even helping to deliver a baby. That is the kind of situation we're hearing about. And although there are many instances of sadness, the mayor of Buffalo telling me that around Christmas, when people should be celebrating their people, making funeral arrangements, there is some silver lining.
Hey, call hello. Yahweh by Hashem Shai by Hashem Kakadash, man. Right? All praises to the Heavenly Father, man. He said while people should be celebrating, right, they're making funeral arrangements. Let me get this. This is Amos 8:10. It says, and I will turn your feasts into mourning, and all your songs into lamentation, and I will bring up sackcloth upon all loins, and baldness upon every head, and I will make it as the mourning of an only son, and the end thereof as a bitter day. Right? And that's what the Lord's doing. And this y'all celebrating Christmas, something that you've told over and over again that it's not right. People are still doing it. Like, I had to go with my woman to her parents' house, and they're celebrating this shit. Her family celebrating this shit. One of her sister's men know about Israelites. No, it's not. No, you're not supposed to celebrate. Both of them do. No, they're not supposed to celebrate. And they see me, one of them start making jokes. Both of them actually, both of my woman's men making jokes, Judites. One saying, he's got the power of the Israelites. Hey, Jake scoff a lot, man, and pretty soon all that scoffing is going to be shut down. The Lord's going to start reaping souls, bro. Reaping souls. You're talking about a negative, they were talking about it was like negative 55 degrees, right? In some places. Negative 55. right? And this death toll that they have on here, 55 people, it's fucking far higher than that. Far higher than that, bro. You telling me all the homeless people that are on the street, they were able to get off? That's a fucking lie, bro. And those workers that are supposed to go out there and find these people and make sure these people ain't dead on the street, it's so cold they ain't doing that job. They glancing and they moving fuck on. Now, when that snow starts to melt, and the temperature warms just enough, all them bodies are just gonna be coming out, right? And they're not even gonna associate it with this whole thing, so it's not even gonna be thrown into the tally. It says a once-in-a-lifetime blizzard has killed at least 55 people in the United States, including 25 in the northwestern New York's Erie County. Officials said Monday morning. The number of deaths from the monstrous storm was expected to grow as snow continued to blanket Erie County, leaving roads in many areas impassable, including the majority of Buffalo County. Executive Mark Poland Cars said at a news conference, right? And this is all the working of the Lord, bro. All the working of the Lord. This is Isaiah 29:6. Thou shalt be visited of Yahweh hosts with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest and a flame of devouring fire. And that's what's happening. The Lord is visiting people. You can't act like -55 throughout in a cold front throughout the entire majority of the country like this. It's affecting people greatly, right? I think you had a brother. Oh, I was talking to a dude, one of my woman's men, and he was like, yeah, one of his cousins in Texas hadn't had power in 4 days. In 4 days, bro, because of this shit. So, hey, the Lord is starting to, reckon with the people. He's starting to sit here and make sure you know that He is at work, right? He is at work, and the Lord is gonna get even more crucial as the days go by, because nobody's taking, right? Nobody's taking the warning, man. Isaiah 60 or Psalm 66. Right? This is all the Lord's doing. You gotta understand that, man. As Psalm 66:5, it says, "Come and see the works of the Most High. He is terrible in his doing towards the children of men." To die out there in the cold like that, right? For you to die in your house, at some point you're gonna get up, you're gonna wake up, you're gonna notice that, oh shit, it's getting too cold. I gotta do something, and your body's just gonna be moving too slow. You're not gonna have the strength to move, because your body's gonna fucking start congealing, right? Like, this is why the Lord said, man, pray that your flight be not in winter, man, because these are the conditions that could be there, right? Having to trek through snow, lift your feet super high just to get the next step, cold as hell. Isaiah 40. In 6, it says, the voice of Yahweh said, cry. The voice said, cry. And he said, what shall I cry? All flesh is as grass, and all the goodness thereof is as the flower of the field. The grass withereth, the flower faded. So it just said all flesh is as grass, and the goodness as the flower of the field, right? So people withering, the flower faded, the goodness of the field, right? They're not even talking about the long. It's crazy how news doesn't even talk about the long lasting implications of these type of weather events in the forefront. They only talk about it afterwards, right? When you have blasting like that in majority of the country, right? All this whole major, cold weather is happening in the breadbasket of America, bro. So that huge amount of cold weather is killing crops. They're not, a lot of those crops aren't made for temperatures that low, right? The grass withereth, the flower fadeth, because the spirit of Yahweh bloweth upon it. Surely the people as grass, and the Lord is blowing that cold weather on us, right? The Lord is blowing that cold weather, man. I think I had, yeah. Ecclesiasticus 43. So famine is even getting set in place, and a lot of people aren't even putting that together. All right? You got to take account of these things, man. Famine is getting put together, and people ain't even taking account of that, man. It's Ecclesiasticus 43 in the Apocrypha in 17. The noise of the thunder maketh the earth tremble, so does the northern storm, and the whirlwind, right? What is the northern storm, right? It says, as birds flying, he scattered the snow, and in the falling down thereof is that the lighting of grasshoppers, right? So that's what's happening. The Lord is making that lighting of grasshoppers, that snow to come, when you talk about the lighting of the lighting of grasshoppers, when grasshoppers get up and move, it's all in a unit, and they blanket the entire land, and that's what the Lord is doing with this cold weather. It says, the eye marveleth at the beauty of the whiteness thereof, talking about the snow, and the heart is astonished at the raining of it. It says the hoarfrost, all that extreme weather, also as salt he poureth on the earth, and being congealed, it lieth upon the top of sharp sickles, of sharp stakes. You see? That's what's happening. All water's starting to freeze over. Plants are starting to freeze over. When the cold north wind bloweth, right, the water's congealed into ice. It abideth upon every gathering together of water, and clothes the water as with a breastplate. And that's what's happening. So the Lord is the one in control of that, right? The Lord controls this. Hey, and a lot of people are dying at the hand of the Lord, and nobody's sitting there making it reckon but the prophets. We're the only ones saying, hey, this is the Lord's getting down on you, right? 2nd Ezra 15 and 12 says, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague, and the punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it, right? So that's what's happening. The Lord's starting bringing punishment and plagues upon this place, and it's going to increase. Lord willing, 2023, this could be the year. This could be the year of great death. This could be the year that the Lord just really gets down. It says, they that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting in hell with a fearful constellation, man. Right? So family's going to be cooked up. With this whole cold weather like this, even if Esau's in one using his heart program, his heart machine to manipulate the weather, it's still the working of the Lord, because what is going to set in famine? It's going to set in great death. It's taking out people before everything sparks up, man. This is Job 37 and 10. It says, by the breath of the most high frost is given, and the breath of the waters is straightened. And the breath of the waters is straightened. So see, so the Lord is the one in control. By the breath of the Most High, frost is given. And so negative 55 degrees, hey, that's the Lord. 115 degree, 120 weather, days on end, that's the Lord. This is the time of the Lord, man. Shalom.